Okay, we are start now. Okay, for the meeting presentation today. And let me introduce myself. My name is Jack Han. He's from Galaxy Security. I'm the product manager for Anviz. And we have the partner and with Anviz, which is our new product line. And so Leonardo will be the host for today. He will introduce the product line for Anviz. If you have any question, please ask him, or you can send a message in the Zoom, okay?
Thank you, Jack. Welcome, everybody. My name is Leonardo Ribeiro, and together with Galaxy Security, we're here today to present a brand new solution focused on the biometric access control and time attendance. So before we start, I would like to introduce you my colleague, Mr. Peterson. He is our sales director with us, and I will be your presenter today. I am the technical sales manager. I have a good knowledge of our product family, and I'm going to present hardware and software solutions. Peterson, do you want to say something before we proceed?
Hi, okay. Thank you very much for your introduction. We're really happy to have this joint event with Galaxy Security. So it's our honor and a pleasure to have today's presentation. Thank you for all of your time.
Thank you, Peterson. So before we start, I would like to introduce you our communication tools for this webinar. We have two boxes down there. The chat box that you can communicate whenever you want with our panelists, with our assistants. And for the assistants that want to communicate with the customers, please select the destination message to everyone. Otherwise, you're going to type and just internal team will see that. Okay, guys? And I suggest whenever you have a question or you have a comment that you need a reply, please use the Q&A box, because in that box, the questions will be fixed. And from time to time, I will stop the presentation and check the questions. So I will make sure that I will be able to answer them all right? So telling this, we can start. So the topics of today are about our FaceDeep 3 series, our smart face recognition terminal. So here is the agenda for today. We are going to speak a little bit about our company, the FaceDeep 3 introduction, as well as the software introduction, some advantages of our solution. We will also have a Q&A time and a lucky draw. I'm going to explain the lucky draw in the next slides. So stay with us until the end of presentation. You will have the chance to get some free samples, all right? So then I will do a demonstration of the product working with the cloud system and sharing some case studies right after that. So talking about the lucky draw, stay tuned until the end of the presentation. Maybe you'll be able to see, I'm putting numbers at your names because I will make a random lucky draw according to the number your name will have. So you don't need to worry about that. I'm doing that internally. So after a while, I will random this number, and the number that I get from the random website will give you a FaceDeep 3 samples. And if we reach more than 30 attendees for today, we are going to lucky draw another sample to you guys. So there will be any cost for you, neither for the freight cost, neither for the shipping. So we will make sure you will have the chance to get one device for yourself, okay? So let's continue then. Just numbering some new. Welcome everyone, those that are arriving now. Moving next. About our company, about Anviz itself. We are a global leader in the smart security industry. Our core business is the biometric solution. So we dedicate biometric solutions for access control and also time attendance. So we have our manufacturer based in Shanghai in China, but we have several offices around the world, as well as the manufacturing base very near of Shanghai with 50,000 square meters, with a capacity of production about 2 million pieces per year. Here are some of our milestones. We started, globally speaking, at 2005, but the company was starting its operations around 2001 and always focusing on the biometric recognition. So we are one of the first manufacturers to provide solution for this business. So we have a lot of experience and we were always enhancing our technology through the years. So here we have some milestones interesting, but for today presentation, I would like to focus on the artificial intelligent recognition solution that we are providing on our facial devices, including the one we are going to talk today, the FaceDeep 3. So this is a very important feature I'm going to explain in the next slides to help to contribute the safety and the performance of our system, right? Here, our global networks. So we have providers, we have distributors, we have resellers, integrators, globally speaking, including in North America and Canada, United States, and Mexico. We have good partners in there. So you will be able to get our devices whenever you need, and as well as the after and pre-sale support. So we always do very good trainings with our partners so they can provide all the necessary assistance to the installers, resellers, and also the end users. Splitting our product line in two, as I mentioned before, we have the access control and time attendance solution that will be the focus today, but we also have our surveillance system. So if you're also interested in our surveillance system, please contact Galaxy Security team. They will be able to help you knowing more about our surveillance system, all right? About our case studies, this is just to let you know we have a specific page at our website, which is anviz.com, where you will be able to find a lot of interesting case studies using our solution for different kind of applications, governments, universities, multinational companies, small and medium business. There are a lot of interesting cases where you can be more familiar with the challenges our partners face and the solutions we bring together to satisfy the end user using our products itself, okay? On the end of this presentation, I will share some specific case studies using the Deep 3 itself, the one we are going to talk about right now. Starting the introduction of the facial recognition, the FaceDeep series, I would like to call your attention for the market demand on facial recognition products. So it's not any news to anyone that the pandemic raised the demand for touchless devices, devices that could make an access control or a time attendance without touching any kind of surface of the device. So we have a facial family we can provide to support, to help supporting this demand. So we made a survey recently that was expecting about annual growth of 17% yearly up to 2025. So this is a very good demand for the market. So that's why we want to help you to support and fulfill this demand with our solution. About our facial recognition terminals, this is our facial family. All the family have some special features that are described in this slide. So including the FaceDeep 3, the one we are speaking today, all the others also have these features that I'm going to explain in details for the next pages. So if you stay with us until the end, you will check and understand how interesting, how many technology you can explore for your customers using our devices, okay? This is a comparison about our facial product line. So we tried to put them on a comparison involving the performance versus the pricing. So which makes the FaceDeep 3 the most suitable solution if you're talking about cost benefit. It's not the cheaper in the solutions we can offer and not even the most expensive, but talking about performance, recognition speed, memory, communication, capacity with third-party integrations and other things we're going to explain. This is the most interesting solution to provide for a customer that doesn't need the basic, but also doesn't need the most complex device, right? Some interesting features, we can already start giving examples. For example, the first one, the high resolution touchscreen of 5 inches. So you can, if you need, of course, if you prefer that way, you can use the device screen to configure, to enroll users, to set communication and all the other stuff you can do from the software or from the web browser. So this is another good advantage. As soon as you connect the Ethernet cable or communicate the device by the Wi-Fi, for example, because this device supports those two communication methods, you can use the web browser to configure the device from a computer or from a cell phone, for example. You just type the device local IP on your web browser and you can start configuring, but you can choose the one that you feel more comfortable. You can also use the touchscreen display for that. This is the IRT version because it has a temperature reader. I'm going also to explain this on the next slides. So we can have a version that can combine the validation of the user face together with the temperature and mask detection if necessary. Some LED lights that helps to recognize users even in the darkest environments. Card reading, so we have a RFID reading for key fobs or for RFID cards to combine, or to just, you need to use the cards, not a problem, our device can fulfill it. And soon we are going to have the QR code version. So one version with a QR code reader to be used, for example, for visitors management or some specific access, temporary access for customers or users that are not enrolled in the device's memory. And last but not least, the high resolution dual cameras. So the devices have two cameras that combine themselves to provide a secure recognition as well as the recognition in the darkest environments as well. Okay. As I spoke before, the contactless technology, our devices can be used without any kind of touch. So for example, you can configure the device to take the attendance of your employees using the facial recognition or the RFID card, or even from the cell phone. I'm going to explain that in the next slides with the CrossChex Cloud, a very interesting cloud-based solution to manage our systems. But of course, we can also use the password if necessary. We can have a double or triple validation. So for example, if you want your employee to double check to register his entry or his leaving of the office, you can configure the device to just authorize his records using face and card, or face and password, or the three technologies together. The device is very flexible and can help you managing the way you prefer your work team. The CPU of our devices, this is a dual core 1 gigahertz CPU. And for the device, for its proposal, it's more than enough. The device is very fast on the facial recognition. You can make a face recognition in less than 0.3 seconds. Even with the full memory, all the facial templates on the device memory, the performance is still the same as if the device was a brand new one. Also, I would like to tell you that the performance is so good for this processor that we are already taking the same CPU to all our other product families. So our other devices will have the same performance as this one. So this was the best example we could provide talking about facial recognition speed. Oh, here it is, the artificial intelligence deep learning. So this helps a lot the device performance that to understand, for example, if it's a real user in there, or it's a picture, or it's a video, or someone just similar as the real person that the device needs to validate. The artificial intelligence deep learning contributes with the algorithm to make that work perfectly. So for those that don't know what is the algorithm for this device specifically will capture your facial template, your facial recognition, and convert it to the technology. So the device can use its logic to validate or to reject the access control or time attendance whenever it's necessary. Widely adapted to various conditions, so the device can support facial from different places of the world, different ethnic, so it doesn't matter if you are in North America or if you are from Asia or from Africa, Europe, the device always will capture your facial template according to your facial structure. So, which means that the device is adaptable to any place of the world with different people. We tested more than 1 million different templates to make our algorithm works perfectly. Doesn't even matter if you are using a mask or a cap or sunglasses. Of course, we will not use everything together, right? But if there is some part of your face that is covered or a different way, the device is intelligent enough to capture all the other parts and make the comparison and the validation correctly, okay? Well, we have a question here. I'll read the question and reply to you. Mr. Mark Babiuk, how well does the device tell the difference between identical twins? That is a very good question, Mark. So for identical twins, it's still a challenge for us to identify them. Of course, it will be a challenge for the next years, but we can, in those cases, we have seen already that the customers use to combine technologies to differentiate them. So for example, for a very identical twin, he could give the facial template plus a password or plus our RFID card, and for the other, a different validation technology. So doing that, the device will be able to differentiate them. But talking about only facial recognition, it's still a challenge. And I could not give you the total security that the device will differentiate them. Okay. Continuing about the dual camera recognition. So we use the NIR camera and a VIS camera. So one is the night vision one, and the other is the standard visual one. Both together will help you to differentiate a real person from a picture or a video that we already spoke before on the algorithm page, on the artificial intelligence that contributes with the artificial intelligence as well. Face recognition in any environment. So as I also introduced, the device has two LED lights on its extremes that will help with the recognition even in the darkest places. So the device will always shine those LEDs and it will help to contribute the facial recognition. And the device also has infrared sensors to help to catch that facial recognition even in the darkest lights, all right? Here, some extensive interfaces our device provides, so you can connect the device with the Ethernet cable or by the Wi-Fi communication. The standard device has both communication options. You can choose the one you prefer. We have a relay signal, a relay output that you can use to trigger a door opening, for example, a magnetic lock or a door strike, or even an automation motor that opens a gate. You can just make the relay trigger whenever the device recognizes an authorized person, and that will open the door the device is doing the access control. Serial and WAN communications. So These communications help the device with third-party systems. For example, we have controllers that work through Wigan, but also other manufacturers have those controllers. So if the controller provides the same Wigan protocol as our device, you can use the device to integrate in those other systems. We have some very interesting case studies with this kind of application. For example, on United States recently, we use it a Gallagher access control system to get the records and the validation for our FaceDeep series. So our reader gives the record and the permission to this controller, and that controller do all the management system for a medical clinic with more than 10 or maybe 15 FaceDeep devices in that project. So it's a very interesting way you can use our devices to work with other already installed systems. USB host. So you can always export records from the USB host or import or export users, including facial pictures. That is very interesting if you're talking about a big company and you will waste a lot of time to enroll their faces user by user. So using this USB host, for example, you can separate a good quality facial picture from each user and import those users to the device memory. So you will not need to enroll one by one manually doing that way. So it helps a lot make things faster for your access control or time attendance system. Also for networks, for environments that you don't have a network, you cannot communicate the device via Ethernet cable, or there is not a Wi-Fi structure you can communicate with, you can always transfer information between software and hardware using the USB drive. Door sensor motion and also open door exit button input. So we have some inputs that will help you with the access control that I can explain better in the next slides. We have a diagram futurely that I have how to explain in details how to connect and control a door, for example, if you're using the device to an access control. Employee help screening. So this is for the IRT version. So we have the FaceDeep 3 families, maybe 3 or 4 different models. For the FaceDeep 3 IRT, which means infrared temperature, we have a sensor that can take your temperature by the palm reading detection. So doing that, you can combine not only for regular users, but also check if they have the temperature above, inside the limit that you can also input to the device configuration. And if the user, for example, is above that limit, I can receive an alert that the user is in fever, has fever, and I will not open the door in that case. So I can do a lot of combinations using the temperature reader in that case. Also including the mask detection. This mask detection works for all our facial devices, for the standard mode and also for the IRT version. So you can check if the user is wearing a mask or not and do some access combinations according to that. We take a review at the questions. Yes, Jack?
Hi.
Sure.
Yeah, Leo, I have a question about the temperature. For some time in the winter, it's very cold, so people come from outside, and some ladies or some people, the temperature is very low, especially on hand.
Okay.
How do you work on that? Like maybe it's only, for example, maybe 32 degree, right? Instead of regular 36 degree, or maybe 29 degree on the hand.
Okay, that is a very good question for specific scenarios, Jack. On those cases, when it's a very cold environment and you can notice a difference of the temperature in your hand, we have also other models that will take the infrared temperature of your face, okay? So on those cases, I would suggest the FacePass 7 Pro or the FaceDeep 5. They are members of our official family, but the infrared temperature is not using the palm hand, but the facial temperature directly, okay? So I can give you more material after the webinar for those other models. They are 100% compatible with the solutions and also with the FaceDeep tree we are presenting today.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're very welcome. There is some other questions on the Q&A box. Is the access control device IP67 weatherproof for outdoor use? Oh, hi, Mark. We have another model for outdoor use as well. This one we are promoting today, it's for indoor use, but you can refer to the FaceDeep 5 if you need an outdoor solution. As I told before, our facial recognitions, they are compatible between each other, talking about facial templates and also talking about software. So feel free to look for the FaceDeep 5 reader at our website for outdoor application, okay? Can it be integrated into automation systems like Control 4? Well, Sean, for that specific question, it really depends how the automation systems works. We have different ways of integration. That could be by the WIGAN output, as I explained some minutes ago, or could be by the Ethernet. So if you can catch the device on your local network, you could integrate with those systems, or even if necessary, some specific integration, we also provide our SDKs, our APIs, so you can make the development of this integration from your side directly with our supporting team, our development supporting team to support you, to help you whenever you may need. All right. So moving next. This is the slide referring to the installation of the device itself. So it's very easy to install. The device already come on its box with the wall mounting support. So it's a metallic plate. You will use it to fix on the wall and then to fix the device on this wall, on this mounting plate. Very easy to install. We have all the quick guides, all the manuals to help you with that. And we also have some optional mounts. So if you're not using the standard one, you can use some optional mounts we provide. That could be the desktop mount, the station mount, or the turnstile mount. For example, on this slide, you can see some applications to be used for those additional and optional brackets. Here, a comparison of our 4 Deep3 members of the FaceDeep 3 family. So starting with the standard one and up to the FaceDeep 3 QR code. So basically, they are up to 6,000 users on its local memory. So the device, for example, could work in a standalone mode up to 6,000 users. But we also have some other interesting features, like, for example, the FaceDeep 3 4G. The FaceDeep 3 4G come with internal SIM support. So you can use a cell phone chip with an internet package enabled to make the device communicate directly by internet using the cell phone network. So doing that, you can install the device anywhere. As long as it has this internet signal, you will not need a local Wi-Fi. You will not need to provide an Ethernet cable. The device would work perfectly with the CrossChex software that we're going to explain in the next slides as well. Oh, here it is, the configuration, the diagrams I explained it, I mentioned before. So talking about access control, basically we have 2 ways to provide using our FaceDeep 3 series. The first one, the most common we can use, is using the device relay signal. So the device, whenever a user is authorized, the device triggers the relay that could trigger a magnetic lock, that could trigger a strike, or even a door automation system. So that would open your door as long as the user is authorized. And on the other side, you could install, for example, an exit button to make the control from the inside to outside. Or if you prefer, you can also put another device in there so you can control both directions of the same entrance. On the middle of this slide is using a third-party controller or even our Anviz controller. So what I mean to say here, it doesn't matter really where the controller come from. Of course, we can provide you the controller if necessary, but if you already have another controller using the WIGAN protocol, you can communicate our device to work with this kind of system. And on the right side, we have just the attendance solution, where we don't have to use any wiring for the door opening or access control. We just communicate the device with our software, and we can start managing the employees' clock ins and clock outs to get a report right after a certain period. That is what I'm going to explain right now, talking about our software solutions itself. That has a common name as CrossChex. You're going to understand why I say that this is a common name. CrossChex is the name of our software family, and we have some versions of that. We have some different applications to provide you the most suitable software according to your customer needs. So we have very complete solutions and also flexible solutions depending what you're looking for. So we can start, for example, with the CrossChex standard. The CrossChex standard is the most complete solution we can provide if we are talking about access control and also time attendance. This software is compatible with all Anviz devices, devices from previous families, devices that we don't produce anymore, as well as the current family, our current portfolio solution. So they will be always compatible between each other using the CrossChex standard software. Another advantage is that there is not any cost for that. You don't have to pay any kind of license. Doesn't matter how many devices you have, how many users you have on database, how many computers are logged in the same software. There is not any cost for that. So this is one of the biggest advantages of the software, and it's very complete, as I mentioned before. So we can use it to the device management. Doesn't matter if you're using access control or time attendance. You can communicate devices. You can set access control permissions for your employees or for your users. For example, I want all my users to be able to access the front door, but the auxiliary door will not work for all my employees, just for a few authorized members. And also, for example, I could make the door be able to recognize users from Monday to Friday from 8 to 6 p.m. So outside this time frame, my door will never open. I have a lot of access control features I could explore using my CrossChex standard software. This is a desktop version. You have to download and install it. It's a Windows-based software. You can check it on our website at the download page. You will see the CrossChex standard enabled that for download. But if you have, for example, another operational system, maybe Linux, maybe iOS, it doesn't matter. Not really a problem, because we have other software options, including the one I'm going to talk now, the CrossChex Cloud. The CrossChex Cloud is purely cloud-based. You can use it from any place, anywhere, anytime. So this is a very flexible solution. This is dedicated for the time attendance systems. You may see that it's not so complete as the CrossChex standard, because this is for a different target application. So small and medium business that needs flexible time attendance. So this is the dedicated software to provide this necessity, to fulfill this necessity of customers. For example, I could give you an office chain, a network that, for example, my company has 3 or 4 offices in different cities or in different places. I could manage my time attendance systems from those 4 offices in different places by the internet. So I need just to communicate the device of each office with the internet, set them to my cloud account, and I will be able to manage them remotely, anytime, anywhere, just through the internet. The devices, the system is very flexible because it's all P2P communication. You don't even have to open or trigger ports on the local routers, no port forwarding, and all the information is safe and encrypted according to the GDPR and also according to the documents, the confidential documents from the Amazon server. For example, we have a North American server and it's based on the Amazon cloud systems. So it's a very easy to use platform. I intend to have a demonstration here on the next part. So we are going to pause the slide at that time and I will make some recording, show you some specifications of the CrossChex Cloud. You're going to check how easy it is to use and manage your employees in our cloud system, right? As I just told in this slide. Oh, some interesting features I would like to mention as well. So from April 21st and so on, we upgraded our CrossChex Cloud for manual records possibilities. So for example, now the employees also can be able to have their own account. So you could give an account for your employee, and on that account, the employee would be able to check his records, his historical of attendance. He could check his schedule of his daily works, and he could also make records request through there. I will give you another example. Let's assume that the employee is not on the office on that specific day. The employee is in a business trip, but he's still working. So how he would be able to check his records in that case if he doesn't is at the office to make the check-in on the facial recognition? On that specific case, he could use his employee account, as I just spoke, and make a manual request. So he will log in as an employee with his login, with his password, and at the software, he will he will make up attendance request with the day, the time, and what is he doing. He could say, for example, today at 9 a.m., business trip, visiting customer in Quebec, for example. And whenever he sends this request, his boss will receive the notification. And if his boss thinks it's everything okay, it's valid application, he will authorize that. And that record will be sent to the system, just like if he had checked it in his face on the device inside the office. So with that, we can control attendances locally and remotely for business trip, for visits, for different kind of systems that work in different places outside the office, all right? And another interesting feature, the CrossChex Cloud application. So for now, we can do everything that I mentioned by the web browser. So it doesn't matter if you are on your computer using Google Chrome, or if you're in a notebook or in your iPhone using the Safari, everything can be done by web browser. But from this month, we are up to release our new CrossChex Cloud application. So you will be able to download and install in an Android phone or in an iOS phone. And with the application, it will be much easier. You will not have to log in yourself on a web browser. You just open the application with your login and your password, and you will be able to make up attendance, to check your records, to check your schedule, everything, including the geolocation. So if you want to make up a remote attendance request, it's also possible to tell your boss where you are specifically. Of course, if you want this feature, this is not mandatory. Some companies, they have some data privacy, some privacy protection. You can disable and never use that if necessary. So another feature, another interesting tool we are providing to enhance our time attendance solution, CrossChex Cloud. Someone open the microphone, some question? Okay, if there is not any question, we can continue. Whenever you have questions, guys, use the Q&A box. We will be able to support you on that, okay? Moving next, some advantages. Why use our FaceDeep 3 series? First one, works for various conditions, various scenarios. The most common scenario for our Deep 3 is small and medium business. For access control, for time attendance, or for both applications if necessary. Let's assume you have the device installed in the entrance of your office and you can use it to access control and differentiate records between access control and time attendance. On the software or even the device menu, you can configure the device to set an interval for repeating records. For example, I will clock in at 8 in the morning, the door will be open and that record will be used for time attendance. But for example, the records for the next 4 or 5 hours will just be used for access control. So I can configure that in my device to make the next 2 records not be considered as time attendance and just access control. If I leave the office, if I come back to the office, if I have to take something in my car, for example, I can manage that easily and everything is going to be work perfectly with this configuration. Your face will be your key, so you will not worry anymore with key fobs or with mechanical keys. There is no how to forget your face. So you will just use your facial recognition to make access control if you're using the FaceDeep 3 series to your building or to your office. Just for time attendance, if necessary, this is an example using the desktop mount. You could set the device in a table, for example, and when you're passing through the corridor, you just have to look to the device for a while. The device will recognize your face and generate the record. We have some configuration to separate the distance from the device reading. So in this case, if you're using that in a corridor, you can configure the device for the shortest possible distance. So people that don't want to check in, to clock in or clock out at the device, the system will respect the distance and will not count the recognition as a record if the person is not nearby the device. Building entrance, so the device can also be connected with turnstiles, with gates, and from different ways. You can use the relay to trigger the motor of the turnstile, or you can use the WIGA for integrate to the controller that is inside. Or some integrators also make SDK integration using the Ethernet cable to collect the validation and send the command to the controller by TCP/IP. So we have different ways to do that. The IRT version for body temperature, so you can check the temperature in this specific case using the palm of the hand, but we also have other devices to take temperature using the facial recognition with an infrared temperature, infrared sensor, and also the mask detection. You can combine them if necessary. And another interesting case of portable authentication. So in this case, we are using the station mount on a bus. So you just needed to communicate the device with the 12 volts of the bus battery, and the device will be able to turn in and check the students whenever they get up on the bus. So you could make some interesting projects with the student attendance for the bus transport. And in this case, this is just an example. We have much other examples we could provide. And if you want to know more details, feel free to check our case study solutions at our website. This is another interesting comparison talking about the market as a whole. Of course, this is a general comparison. Depending on the market, you have other players, you have other models, but generally speaking, we have advantages if we compare features and user experience with price. Of course, we are not the cheapest in the market. We don't want to be the cheapest in the market, but we are not either the most expensive ones. So we are in a good position that combines good cost benefit, all the features we are speaking now on this webinar, and some others we are not emphasizing now, and with an acceptable pricing, a reasonable pricing for the installer, for the reseller, for the end user. We have a very good price policy to protect all our partners, all the channels that works with Anviz solution. Moving next, Q&A and price. So as I mentioned, we are going to make a lucky draw if you reach the attendance targets. So I will let some Q&A questions here for you guys. If you have any questions in this meantime, let me know, because I will go into number the attendees for now. So if you have questions, Jack, if there is any questions, if you want me to reply, if you can help me checking the chat box or the Q&A, I would be much appreciated for now.
Sure. I have a question. Okay. So the employee or the customer who saved the face to a database, right? Where's the database in? Is that in the FaceDeep 3 unit itself?
Oh, this is a good question. We have different databases. Specifically for the host system, we can store the facial templates on the device memory. It will not be a picture. The system will convert the facial template, the device, the facial of the employee to an encrypted file, a file that just the algorithm can understand. So it's not a picture, but can be stored on the device memory. And if necessary, you can transfer this template to the software database. So the software, for example, if it's a CrossChex standard, you install and you keep that template in a local database with no internet communication. Or if you want to use the CrossChex Cloud, you can transfer that template to the server, our Amazon server that stores all the information from our customers confidentially. So there is a few ways we can use.
The database either store on the FaceDeep 3 unit itself, or I can do a copy to a local PC, or I can do on the cloud server.
Exactly. You can choose between those three.
Okay. If the client only have the database on the FaceDeep 3, but the unit is damaged by someone or it's a fail, or how to transfer all the database to a new unit?
Okay, this is a very interesting case. The devices, they can be used as a standalone as well, which means if I don't need any other software, not the local software, not the cloud-based, not a problem. I can store everything on the device memory, and periodically I can use a USB drive, a flash drive, to import the information I have on the device to my USB drive. And I can use this USB drive as a backup, or I can just input this USB in other devices and transfer the information to other units if necessary.
Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Any other question for now?
When you say transfer to a USB, it requires a password, right?
Well, you have to access the device internal menu. So you can configure your device to have an admin password, or use your face as administrator, for example. So if you don't reach the menu, you're not able to transfer or configure anything. There should be administration privileges for that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.
Perfect. So guys, I can count in here, and we have enough people to reach our target and give a lucky draw. We will provide a free sample of FaceDeep 3. So I'm going to make a random lucky draw for now. Let me stop sharing my screen. I will open a lucky draw website, and I will number someone between 1 and 20. And we are going to make the lucky draw. One moment. Let me share the complete screen. Let me know, guys, if you can see it. Please confirm, saying yes at the chat box, or use the microphone to confirm. I am on a page that will random one number from 1 to 20. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So we are going to make it right now. Good luck for everyone. You will have a FaceDeep 3 free sample. The number 6. Let's see who is number 6. Participants. Number 6 is Mr. James Moring. Mr. James Moring, congratulations. You just got yourself a free FaceDeep 3 sample. My colleagues from Galaxy, they will contact you to provide you this free sample. So Jack, please talk with Mr. James Murray. We will support him with a FaceDeep 3 free sample, okay? Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations, James. Please let me know your contact number and email address, so I'll contact you after the meeting.
Okay, very good. We are up to, if we reach the attendance target, we will be able to provide another sample. But for now, we just will provide this first one to Mr. James Mooring. So let's continue the next one. So let me share my screen again. Please confirm if you can see that correctly. You can use the chat box or just the microphone for the internal team to make sure we can continue from now. Okay, perfect. Thanks for the confirmation, guys. So talking about price itself, it's not only the free sample we are providing now. We have some other applications we can use. So this one is an example. So this is specifically for the resellers, for the installers. If you're using our devices in the next months, if you reach a big project, for example, or if you sell our devices to different customers that can reach up to 50 units at a month period, you can get yourself an Apple AirPod. Or if you reach up to 100 units in the same month, you can reach up to an iPad Air. So we are always promoting with prizes and possibilities of business that you can have some compensation, some prizes with our company directly. Oh, here we have the demonstration now. So I have a FaceDeep 3 connected from my side. I have also a FaceDeep 3. I would like to make an unboxing to you guys so you can check exactly what comes and how to use the device itself. So I will stop sharing for now. If you want, you can put my web camera in the full screen because I have here some boxes of the FaceDeep 3 piece. So you have two versions, the IRT and the standard one. Let me mirror my video, then you can see perfectly how our device works. Yeah, now you can read just as it's in the box, all right? So I'm going to unbox my FaceDeep 3. Opening the box, very well protected. You will see the foam, the box itself. It comes with the complete manual, the quick guide, the step-by-steps on the menu, the wiring diagrams, how to make the wall mounting, our contact for support, our numbers if you need. So together with the quick guide, we have the device very well protected on a plastic cap. So removing the plastic, you reach the device interface. This one, I already use it a lot. You're going to see it's not with the plastic protection for the screen, but the devices also come with it, okay? So the screen will be 100 protected. And if you remove it, the plastic, and you see some damage, that's very rare, but you can also contact our team. We will provide you the RMA as soon as possible so you can get a brand new and functional piece right after, okay? So this device, you can see the LEDs on the sides. You can see the RFID module right here, the touch screen on the outside part, the wall mounting that is already on the device. So it's the complete solution for you if you need to use the device as a standalone for access control or time attendance or both. It comes with two RFID cards if you need to use it together with the users, with the employees. But if you need, of course, you can buy them separately. You just have to talk with your sales guy to provide you extra cards. So the devices as a standard works with EM 125 kilohertz cards. That could be Anviz cards itself, or for third-party manufacturers. Just need to respect this frequency, okay? The screws and the accessories to install it on the wall. It already includes the power supply. It comes 12-volt power supply. A 12-volt 1 ampere is more than enough to be used with our device. So if you have already another power supply, you can just consider for the device itself 12 volts 1 ampere. And we also have the wiring, so the connector to be used for access control, for example. So in this cable, in this wiring, you will see the relay contacts, you will see the WIGAN outputs, you will have the door sensor, the exit button wiring, everything you need to make an access control system working perfectly. Okay, so now I will show you my screen again, because we are going to test the CrossChex Cloud software. I have a system here that I would like to share to you guys, the main features of our cloud software. So just give me one more second. And Jack, if you have any questions, someone contacted you by the question for the Q&A box, let me know. I'll be ready to help to answer all the questions we may have.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay, so I'm sharing screen again. Can you see my screen once more? Please confirm. Here, I will access the CrossChexCloud.com page. So this is our US cloud-based software. We have other servers for different regions. For example, for Europe, for Asia Pacific, we have different servers, but for North America, we use always us.crosschexcloud.com. Wing Chow, question, do we need backup battery for the unit or UPS? If necessary, if your system requires that device to be still with energy, even with energy lags, even when the lights are out, you can use a third-party UPS or a battery system. For this specific device, we don't have it included on the device itself, but of course, there are some other systems that work in this way to provide energy whenever the local energy is off, okay? So here I will just put my account, but if you are a new user, you just can click on the below button to sign up for a new account. So it's a very quick step. We just need your email address, a password, very, very basic information. If you're not 100% sure about what we need, you can just check our terms of service and privacy policy right in the bottom of this same page. And here we also have a quick start guide that will forward you to our CrossChex Cloud community. So there is a lot of interesting tutorials explaining step by step how to create a new account, how to manage your devices, how to add employees, how to make manual records. We have a lot of tutorials that will help you with real examples about how to explore the maximum benefits of your CrossChex Cloud account. So signing in as the administrator at my account right now, I will show you that I already have with me a FaceDeep 3 device that is turned on and is connected. Let me mirror my screen again so you can see it better. Just one little moment, please. Okay, let me turn it on again. Okay, perfect. So doing this, you see easily my device. So I am already sharing my screen on the main page. So here I have, of course, this is an example account, but I could have all my employees' information on here. Some people that missed it or forgot to punch in, or they are absent, a timeline with my employees that are on the company, which days, how many days they were off, and so on. And here, what I want to tell you right now, the device tab. So at this tab, we are going to see all the devices that are connected with my account. So as you can see here, I did many tests with different pieces. I have them all at my account, but for now, the unique that I let online is the FaceDeep 3, the one I'm showing you right now. So if you see the first one, the icon of this device is colorful, which means that the device is online now. So if I make a test, the device will recognize my face and send a record in real time. So I'm going to prove that for you guys right now. If we're going to the record tab, I will just select today's date, July 13th, and we can see some previous record of tests I did before. So my local time here now is 12:03 p.m., 12:03 p.m. So I will make a record attendance as a reference. So the device already recognizing me. It says thank you on the screen. And if I refresh this page, a new record, 12:03 minutes, will show it right here. So it's real time. You don't even have to make the download of the records manually. The device with the cloud software works in the data push system, which means whenever a record is done, the device sends automatically this record to the cloud. And you don't even have to worry if the communication is not stable for this moment. Let's imagine that my device is not connected at this moment because my internet is not stable. My device will save the record on the internal memory, and whenever the internet connection is stable again, the device will transfer the records automatically, and you will be able to see them just like I did right now, okay? So the system is very well protected to work even in instability environments, okay? So moving next, you can see here the timesheets that we are right now. We have the report pages. I have an example to show you guys, but before the reports, I would like to show you some other pages of our system, including the settings. At the settings page, this is the important information you may need to communicate your devices with your CrossChex account. So whenever you make your CrossChex account, when you get access on it and you go on settings page, you will have a company ID and a cloud password. This is what you need to put on the device internal system. So the device will be able to communicate with your cloud. So you just have to go inside the menu, network, communication, cloud page, and put the information on your cloud page, just like as you have in here. And you can do it from the device internal menu or by the device web browser. This is another interesting thing you can do that I told you before, that you just check my local IP for this model, and I will show you exactly where to do it. So my IP is 35 at the end. So this is my web browser that I'm just accessing the same information I have in the device menu at this page. So I will go here at network, for example, CrossChex Cloud, and here I have the information just as I mentioned to you before. So I can do every change for here or for the device menu itself. So now coming back to the CrossChex Cloud software, I have here the employees page. Let me show you on the organization tab. Here is where I can manage my users. So I can create new employees. I can set permission to an employee to be a supervisor, to be administrator, to have some extra privileges, or just regular employees with CrossChex account or not. If they want to make manual requests, I put here on the employee, for example, let me just edit a specific one at role settings. I could select them as employee with a password, and he would be able to have a login at his specific page. So it's a very easy to use and interactive system. And just to conclude this demonstration, I made here a simulation of an attendance, a very simple attendance, but to let you guys know that you can do it very easily. So Here, I selected a specific time frame for a week, working from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So what we are going to do now, it's just the check from June 6th to June 11th for that specific employee, and you're going to see the report. So it's June 6th to 11th. Then the employee, if I'm not wrong, 100. I would search for that specific records. So I made, of course, those were manual records, but simulating just like a real office, the clock-ins and clock-outs for a specific users. So if I go at the time attendance report, I will be able to see them just like I did at the records, but now with the time calculation from his clock-ins and his clock-outs. So for example, Mr. Raul, a technician, worked from 9 to 13th at a Saturday. For this specific day, he worked 4 hours, and the actual time the same. He worked 4 hours. This is the workload, and this is the real time he worked. So if you're using a fixed shift, for example, if you schedule shifts for them, you can make the counts of the delays, of the early leavings, overtimes, and so on. You have all this configuration to be able to be used at our system. But for a basic attendance, I'm putting here from Monday to Friday, 9 to 7, 8 hours, and Saturdays from 9 to 1 p.m., 4 hours. And I can export this report in different ways. I can download just the current data report. The same exactly is on my screen now, and some other examples of reports. I separated here in this file some report examples. So if you see on the other tabs, you will have the report screen, record reports, monthly attendance reports with the total sum of the working hours. So there is a lot of interesting preset reports you can use. So I will also share with you guys after this webinar, this file with the simulation of the records together with the PDF of all the content we spoke today, and also the recording of the webinar. So we will have all the background material you may need in case you face a project that Anviz can support with our facial and time attendance solution, okay? Any question for now? Jack, have you seen something on the chat box or on the Q&A?
No.
Okay. So continuing, we are up to finish. Just sharing now a few case studies for you guys. This is one using our FaceDeep 3 solution for a technical training school. This is in Trinidad and Tobago, but you could do it any place. This specific case, they are using the devices for access control and time attendance. They installed the device on their front door. This is it has an indoor structure. As you can see, I will make an appointment right here. So in this picture, you will see this part is covered. So there is no directly rain or no directly sunlight in there. So the device were installed in that specific door for access control. And inside of this training school, there are other FaceDeep trees in each classroom, so they could catch up the attendance of the teachers and the students. So they were using our CrossChex standard, just the local software, to make that it's more than enough to fulfill their requirements on this application. We have also other interesting case studies for different applications. In this case, one of our partners integrated the FaceDeep 3 with the Canon printers. That means the device will be able to validate the real person that is going to use the printer, and it will print the files according to what that person requests. So they share the printer on the office, and it will validate and print as soon as the person is recognized and validated by the device. So it's a very interesting case to help sharing and to avoid printing unnecessary stuff, and also making sure that the real person is going to take the documents, the confidential documents that he or she requests the print. Some online retails. So this is a United States retailer from Florida. They have our devices on their shop, but you could do it on your own e-shop or even selling on e-commerce like Amazon, some other. Of course, we have a price policy to respect. So if you're going to use your web shop, we will suggest you and we will follow that you may use at least our minimum advertising pricing at your public shops, okay? But feel free to have it and make sure you will be able to reply your customers for a good service and a good evaluation of our system and products. Questions, Mr. James, will we be able to get the recording? Exactly, James, sure. We will share the recording. We will share the PDF files of this presentation. I will share also the simulation example we just did when I was sharing screen. So you will have all this material for to consulting if you have further necessities, okay? Talking about the warranty, Anviz supports a 3 years warranty period. That's right, 3 years. It's not common so many warranty. It's because we trust our product, we trust our solution, and we trust our partners to provide pre-sales, after sales, and technical support. If you want more details, you can check our warranty policy right through this link. We also have special offers for projects. We have a project channel to help you with specific projects that you may need some more detailed support. So we can receive the information by there, evaluate to contribute with the best solution we can provide, and also to protect your project business from other competitors that may use Anviz products. So if you receive the project from other companies and we see that you were the first one to input the project for us, we will not work on that same project with other competitors. We will give you total priority to respect the order and to respect the system itself for the project's enrollment. English and Spanish support 24/5 from Monday to Friday. We have a toll-free support number you can call and reach up to the technical support. We also have the support at anviz.com and the sales at anviz.com. You can always contact us. And we also invite you to our community. So if you type on your website, community.anviz.com, you will be forwarded to the community where we can communicate to all the chains of our business, end users, resellers, integrators, distributors, manufacturers. This is an open wide channel that we like to share ideas with all the interested in the brand and in the solutions. So feel free to access and check how many interesting content we have in there. And I think I have talked about all the content I planned for today. Let me see if there is any other questions. Wing Shao, for the QR version, it reads a generic QR code or everyone can have on his own QR code. For the QR code version, we intend to use it as a visitor management. But why I say we intend? Because for now, it's just being used in Europe for the QR code green certification, the green passport for the COVID vaccination. So in that case, the user just put his QR code for his green card, for his green passport. The device will read that and validate. If the system recognizes that validation is okay, the user had took the correct application of the vaccines, he must enter at the building. The device will give permission for the access control. So according to that, we are going to use that same QR code reading for other application, but it's not 100% defined for now how it is going to work. It's for further usage, okay? And just right up to finish, I would like to thank you everyone for the opportunity to be together with Galaxy today. Jack, the team members, thank you very much. You know that you can contact us anytime by our email addresses, or you can just follow us at our social medias. Just type it Anviz Global, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have 2 channels in YouTube, one specific for technical support, where we also have a lot of videos, training, quick tips about how to do some specific applications. Feel free to follow us in whenever social media you may feel comfortable, okay? So I say my greetings and my goodbyes for now. Jack Peterson, if you want to say something before we finish.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and host Leo, and thank you everybody.
Okay, Peterson, thank you very much. Just replying one last question before I give you the word, Jack. Can the device support different language? That's correct, Andrew. We can support several different languages. On the internal menu, there is an option. You can change the language, for example, English, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Russian. There is a lot of different languages. You can configure your device and your software as well. On the software tabs, doesn't matter if it's CrossChex Standard or if it's CrossChex Cloud, you can also change the language if necessary, okay? I guess that's all, Jack. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Leo and Peterson, and also everyone to join our presentation today. So if you have a question, please contact our sales rep, or you can we can help you with any question for Deep3 product. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Galaxy team. Thank you, customers and interested in our brand. I hope you can come up in the next opportunities to know more about our solutions. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.